Yo, what's going on, guys? Gonna be showing you how to dominate and carry with Amumu jungle. He's actually really strong right now. He's the top 15 jungle champion. I'd say he's still considerably worse than Zac, Rammus, or Nunu, but he does have a lot of merit to carry, especially if you can hit level 6 without dying. Once you're level 6 is when you truly start to shine on him. His other big power spikes is once you have full Sunfire Aegis, and then Demonic Embrace is really good. So normally you just want to get your ward down, start your recall no later than the 55-second mark. Then you're going to pick up your Oracle Lens. You're going to need it to gank. If you're just walking around with the warding totem on Amumu, your ganks are going to be trash. And you normally want to get down 1 to 2 ganks pre-6. If you're just AFK farming, you're going to lose a lot of games. With that being said, you don't want to force a bad gank. Hopefully we get a leash. Amumu actually needs leashes. We may not. My last couple of games, unfortunately, my laners have been doing similar cheeses, so I haven't gotten one. Looks like Nautilus is asleep. That's alright. We got the Caitlyn autos. Amumu, you normally just want to start with your bot lane for the best leash possible. If you cannot solo the enemy jungler, which is the majority of the time, it's something like 𝐒𝐿, there's no way. He didn't even auto it. He just walked up, gave it a little kiss. That's alright. Anyways, if you can't solo the enemy jungler, just run a 6 camp clear. And you're not going to be fighting for Scuttle Crab. Looks like their bot lane actually leashed the 𝐒𝐿 because Wukong got to lane really early and they got to lane really late. So most likely Wukong didn't leash and the enemy bot lane most likely did. We're going to smite the big golem. If you're going to solo start on Amumu, you can. You normally do that on Wolves. Wolves is his easiest solo start camp and start E. If you're going to start with a leash on red or blue buff, you want to start W. You're going to max E first, You're gonna max E first, Q second, and W last. And you can't gank before level 3 on Amumu. Level 3 at the soonest is when you want to gank. You actually take a lot more damage from Raptors now since they changed the jungle item. And you also don't want to take Raps and red buff at the same time anymore. You just take way too much damage because of the way they changed the healing on it. We're going to move on to our Wolves now. You can actually queue over walls to get to your camps faster. I don't know where 𝐒𝐿 is though, so I'm kind of just holding on to my Q. If you don't know where the enemy jungler is, and if you feel like you're going to die, if you don't have your Q, you have no real way to get away. You can use it as an escape. So we use our sweeper here. He's not in the bush. This isn't warded. That's really good for us. Once again, since we still don't know where 𝐒𝐿 is, we're not going to use our Q. We need it. We can jump to the Gromp here, for example. So we're just going to hold the blue buff just like this. We still have our smite. I'm going to go ahead and use my Q now. And now we'll take the Gromp. Gromp chunks you down. Really not that much. It's a lot weaker this season than it was last season. Last season it was considerably stronger. And this season it also heals you. So the smite healed me and then the Gromp healed me. So this is a 6 camp clear. You should be finishing around 330 if you get a leash. We finished at 332 because our leash was pretty bad. We're not going to go for Scuttle though. Most likely 𝐒𝐿 is there. I'm going to ping 𝐒𝐿 is probably there. And hopefully Garen reacts accordingly. I can start my recall. We see 𝐒𝐿. Max E first. Hopefully Wukong engages on the Garen here. But this is what the gank would look like at the end of your clear route. Unfortunately, in this case, the Wukong just isn't really taking the bait. I don't know if he warded that bush or what's happening, but he's playing super safe around it. If you don't have enough gold for your Bombi Cinder, you'll just grab 2 ruby crystals and a pink ward. That's a very unfortunate back, but we're just going to keep scaling up. This Wukong's playing super safe, even though he had a 250 HP advantage on the Garen. Very unlucky since we were waiting in the bush. If you can solo the enemy jungler, I'd recommend doing a 5 camp clear straight into Scuttle. But there's not many you can solo early. Only really if you have an HP advantage and they're a weak early game jungler like Evelyn. About the only time. I'm going to go ahead and use my smite. 𝐒𝐿 is bot side. I want to go help them if possible. It looks like there's no way to help them though. Caitlyn's already dead. And they still have a considerable amount of HP that if we win at that point, we're just going to die and get nothing out of it. Oftentimes this is what early game will look like for Amumu. If your initial gank doesn't pan out, you're just going to have to farm it up. Try to get level 6 before you can start doing big things. I'm going to ping out the 𝐒𝐿 there. Most likely 𝐒𝐿 is on his way mid lane. And I don't think that's going to turn out well for him. I can't reach with my Q over the wall. Pinging is really important. Some of the times your teammates won't act properly to the pings, but Sometimes they do. So in that case, we pinged and then he kind of just stood there and I started to meditate. Sometimes your teammates will back off and they'll play more towards the left side. So it happens. Don't flame them. For all you know, they could have you muted, or who knows, they're playing like Roblox on their second monitor or something. Yeah, 𝐒𝐿𝐂 is really fed. That's not great for us. It's really strong early game junglers like 𝐒𝐿𝐂 when they get early leads. It makes it really hard for weak early game junglers to grow because they just get stepped on. I'm gonna go ahead and smite this bad boy. Try to gank top again. If possible, our camps are down anyways. I'll start my recall here in a second. Alright, I can't get up. Those two melee minions are blocking me off, this one and that one. Otherwise, I'd be able to get in the bush. Is 𝐒𝐿𝐂 here? No, 𝐒𝐿𝐂 isn't here. Garen got the kill, nice. So we finally have our... we finally have our Balmy Cinder, which is your first item rush. Speeds up your clears, makes your 1v1s and ganks a lot better. After Sunfire Aegis, you want to get tier 2 boots against them. Probably plated steel caps. They have a lot of AD damage. They have 3 AD champs. Their only real AP is the Fizz. 𝐒𝐿𝐂 should be trying to invade me as much as possible. Luckily, he's going more for ganks than he is for invades, which is really good for us. That is very fortunate. We got the red buff. We're going to queue over the wall. There's no reason why 𝐒𝐿𝐂 would be over here, so we don't really have to worry about not having our Q up. We're going to go ahead and hit a potion. And we can go bot lane with our R now. Right when you get R, you want to try to use it. We want to finish the golem camp though, since the little ones give so much gold and XP. So we're going to finish them off. And then we'll go gank bot. We have our sweep Brawn, not warded, not warded. We're going to run a tighter route here. A lot of times that bush is warded. Leona isn't really reacting, but they're pretty fast. Okay, yeah, it was warded. That's why I didn't... If it, you know the bush isn't warded, you would normally like hug the wall like this and come around. But if you think it is, you just run a tight route. So if they don't react in time, they die. Hopefully my team saw 𝐒𝐿𝐂. I don't know if they did. I guess not. I'm gonna Q flash. Get off a triple stun. Auto down her. Nice, nice, nice. Amumu is really dangerous when he has R like you saw there. Got off a really nice combo. Something you should know, it's a bit of an advanced mechanic. Amumu's Q, E, and R all have about 1/4 of a second startup animation, roughly. So you can actually Q flat, you can Q flash, you can E flash, and R flash. I'll try to show you an R flash in this game. There, I did a Q flash to try to land on the 𝐒𝐿𝐂. You typically do it when you want to catch them off guard by your distance, or if you have to get there really fast. There, I felt like I had to get there really fast since they were since they're fed and they were engaged on my teammates. I didn't want my teammates to die. I'm gonna run straight to my raptors. Hopefully that's not worded. If you ever are being chased, what you're gonna do is you're gonna run towards one of your monster camps and whoop over the wall. Your Q goes over any structures, walls, anything like that. It only gets stopped by monsters, minions, and enemy champs. All units that can damage you. Looks like 𝐒𝐿𝐂 is top. I'll ping that out. Ping out exactly where he is. So Garen has the option to listen. Just think of it that way. Don't think of your pings as an order. Think of them as like just a suggestion. And when it comes to suggestions, they're kind of like opinions. Everyone has one and no one really cares. So that way you won't get your feelings hurt when they don't listen. Alright. Let's take this blue buff. We'll pull it to the Gromp. Since Gromp heals so much, I wouldn't recommend doing this in your first clear, but once you have at least Balmy Cinder, you should be able to do it comfortably. Plus, you'll get your E going on a lower cooldown since you're fighting both at once. I wouldn't do it if you think the enemy jungler is about to invade you. Since I have this pink ward here, I feel pretty safe about it. I do want to grab that minion wave, though. That's a lot of XP. I don't mind showing here. My ultimate's on cooldown anyways, and I want to reset. Garen's wave is fine. I actually kind of just saved his wave because Wukong was going to dump it. Yeah, so there's 𝐒𝐿𝐂. He's most likely going to cross into his blue side, so I'll triple ping it out. We can get our full Sunfire Aegis. We need to get boots after this. Yeah, I'll try to show you guys an R flash. An R flash pressing R and then immediately flashing is actually safer than Q flash, since Q is more of a skill shot and you can miss it. R, it's so thick and wide that it's kind of harder to miss. But yeah, you actually extend the you essentially extend it by a full flash distance like this whenever you Q flash. If you're not comfortable doing that, using your ability and then immediately flashing within a quarter of a second, I wouldn't recommend doing it, because if you fuck it up, then you're essentially just wasting flash and getting 0 added value. Alright, we're going to try to gank. I think Nautilus broke the ward there. You see that little ward soul? It's that little red thing. That means a ward of theirs broke recently. Alright, cool. It's not warded. He shouldn't have stepped up. He should have actually stepped back to entice him to step forward. It's fine. Might be able to reach her if she gets a little bit closer. Alright, we'll just go mid. This isn't going to happen. Alright, so we are full item. Once you're full item, which you'll get anywhere from the 9 to 12 minute mark typically, you're a god. Check this out. Auto attack E, R, blue smite, auto attack. You normally want to weave in an auto attack before your E if you're in a solo situation. So when you Q onto them, you normally auto then E to kind of use your E as an auto attack resetter. Plus, in a 1v1 like that, especially against squishies, you'll only get to use your E once anyways. He's gonna troll pull out. I was hoping it would be on cooldown, and luckily it was. I think I actually have him. I'm gonna blue smite him, try to run him down a bit. E. Badass. The aftershock gave us a bunch of extra armor there, so the turret wasn't doing much to us. We'll hit another refill potion. 𝐒𝐂𝐈𝐀𝐋 is probably gonna push out this way. I assume if he wants to kill me, that's his next move, so I need to push this towards my Garen, the Scuttle Crab, and maybe get that plant. I don't think 𝐒𝐂𝐈𝐾 can afford his full jungle item since I have more gold than him. Because he also went boots. Boots isn't a 300 added cost. I normally don't like to build boots if possible because it delays your full item purchase. So I normally don't do that. Hopefully Garen doesn't take this from me. That'll make me very sad. Alright, I'm very sad now. that was great. Alright, let's go ahead and let's go. I mean, he's got a minion wave right there, but you know, the grass looks better when someone else is eating it, right? Let's go ahead and get our plated let's get our plated steel caps, and since their team is 80 heavy, we'll probably go Thornmail third item, but second item, it's almost always best to go Demonic Embrace, especially if you're fed on Amumu. Demonic Embrace, second item after Sunfire Aegis and tier 2 boots is really, really strong. Our R is up. We're getting a lot of stacks off the Ultimate Hunter. If you want to see the ability order, runes, everything all in one spot, go to the very start of the video. Should all be there. Yeah, basically Aftershock is best on Amumu right now, and Ultimate Hunter is super important because without your R, you have like way less playmaking potential. I queued too early. That's why you don't want to queue early, guys. It lets him juke it too easy. I knew Leona was in the area. It's the only reason why I kept chasing. I was hoping she was still backing, or she was greedy enough to stay to want to fight, because I'm actually really strong. 𝐒𝐿𝐾 still no full item, less gold than me. Also, he did that boots rush like we talked about, so we can crush him 1v1 still. It's like those weird power spikes where as a tank jungler you can still solo people who should normally beat you. You're full item and they're not. It's just, he has no chance. I'm gonna go ahead and work on this dragon since 𝐒𝐿𝐾 is pulling off. He's pushing towards his top side jungle. They're not gonna be able to contest this, and since my R's up as well. Normally you don't want to try to solo dragons on Amumu, but if it's free, it's free. That's just the bottom line. Amumu's dragon souls are kind of slow, and it leaves them vulnerable, but like I said, for all the reasons, it's free. We have double lane prio, plus I'm stronger than 𝐒𝐿𝐾, and my R's up. I was hoping he wouldn't notice me. He noticed. He just queued to the minion. That's fine. I'll just go for the raptors. He has double buffs, so they should be able to maintain prio as long as I kind of hover here. We'll go for this raptor camp. Wukong has no chance against Garen. Garen's a super balanced champion, if you guys didn't know. I doubt this is warded because 𝐒𝐿𝐾 laid his ward over here. He would have had to have 2 ward charges, so I'm assuming it's not warded. So Fizz is most likely going to get pinched by 𝐒𝐿𝐾. I guess we'll find out. Or Wukong. I'll just go over the wall. That actually would have been good if Fizz let 𝐒𝐂𝐂 get him there. So he kind of baited that out a bit harder. Ult him, auto attack, Q, E. Alright, we're actually still... Ooh, I thought we were going to live. That sucks. I don't want to blame... You never really want to blame your teammates for your plays. I do wish Ziggs kind of reacted there. I feel like we could have easily wiped them without me blowing my shot down, but it's fine. Everyone's trying their best. Everyone's giving it their best. It happens. Yeah, so anyways, in this situation, I didn't want to go on the 𝐒𝐂𝐂𝐋 and 𝐒𝐂𝐂 early, necessarily, as they were passing by, because I knew we could crush them 2v2, because neither one was full item at the time. Me and Ziggs are both full item, plus I had R. And clearly we're more fed because we're full item. So I figured they would just jump on Ziggs, I'd jump on them, I'd CC them, and we'd insta-kill them. But that's the thing about solo queue. You and your teammate aren't always going to be on the same page. Yeah, let's get our demonic embrace. Buy a big chunk of it. Nice, nice, nice. Dragon's not up, Herald is. I'll just farm towards Herald. I'll hop over wall, wolves, blue gromp same time, take Herald. Once again, don't take blue gromp same time in your first clear. Once you have Bomby Cinder, it's fine though. It is fine. Amumu, like I said, he has really bad matchups against strong early game junglers. If they're willing to sit in your jungle, there's not a whole lot of counterplay because you can't really solo them, especially before your R or full item. Amumu does really all AP damage, so if your team is AP heavy, I wouldn't recommend him. In this case, Garen does AD and so does the Caitlyn. We're basically triple AP, double AD, so it's fine. And the late game, I'd say, is one of the better champions with his R. If the enemies aren't willing to team fight, then he's not amazing. He's fairly slow and immobile. So if the enemy team has a split push comp, let's say they have like a Xerath mid and a Tryndamere top, and the Tryndamere is just going to split and Xerath's going to wave clear, those games can be quite challenging, and you'll need to make sure you're getting the Heralds and the Barons to end the game. Otherwise, things can get really nasty. Late game, Amumu is... My team has really strong engage with the Nautilus R. So my engage is going to be fine. But normally in the late game, especially if your team doesn't have strong engage... He's just standing in the bush. Normally if your team doesn't have strong engage, you kind of need flash to set up a big play. He's literally just trying to take the camps from me as I'm doing them. That's super obnoxious. That's the second time. He actually took the golems from me. Even though I'm like the one to start them, for those of you who are new to the game, that's considered really, really bad manners. And you may say, well, I don't care because I'm a rude dude with a baggy attitude. Well, there's a lot of people who aren't particularly mentally stable in League, and when you do that, they may actually just AFK and you'll lose the game. So even if you don't care about your teammates' feelings, you want to generally avoid doing that because you're risking them just quitting. So yeah, that's just a tip. I don't want... Okay, I can use my Q now that he's troll pull, Q on him, blue smite the Leona. You normally blue smite whoever you want to R or Q, that way you can land it for free. Nice, nice. QE. In team fights, you generally just leave your W on. You don't need to toggle it on and off unless you're almost out of mana. It's better to just leave it on while you're in these fights. Oh yeah, I need to lay my Herald. What am I doing? Dude, I'm out of it. I should have laid that immediately after winning the fight. Generally, you don't want to lay Herald before a team fight. You generally want to lay it after you get a pick if possible. Because if you lay it... It doesn't even look like we need it, really. If you lay it after you get a pick, they have like no way to contest it, so you can get max value. And it looks like they gave up, guys. That's how you dominate on Amumu jungle. If you guys enjoyed this Amumu jungle commentary guide, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you haven't had a chance yet, come check out the stream live. My name is KingStix. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.